Hey, coach. Hey, coach. Happy Monday to you. Maybe.
Man,
Not so happy Monday.
happy Monday. Yeah, this is one where we're gonna have to muster up that energy and the optimism come out. Most of you, who know me that I'm a big Steelers fan, and we suffered a loss, but life goes on. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the rest of the week, man. Um, yeah. So, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. It's been a roller coaster week. Obviously, a lot has been happening across the country, across the nation. I don't know if I've consumed so much news and so much media for a while, but obviously there's so much information to take in, so much uh, to to just think about, to just think
Yeah.
about in general. So
I mean, we all were looking forward to the new year,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
With anticipation, all the change, necessary change, the voice of the people, and how that is interpreted. Um, and still, I think there's plenty of reason for hope. But yes, with what happened, it's to be candid, in our nation's capital last week was shocking to most. And as we talk about, I mean, our little community here, and what does community mean, and the importance of it. I mean, we have everybody doesn't have the same belief system, and that's okay. We're not all Republicans or Democrats, and that's okay. But that is not a constant issue as it relates to social fitness in our circle, where that's that is a dividing line. Because we have a commonality. We like staying active, like supporting fellow teammates, and if that can just be mimicked more
yeah,
in general society, we'd just be much better off. And hopefully, we can get to that point where we're looking for again a more sense of inclusion and respecting somebody's voice and supporting your fellow brother or sister as they're putting their best foot forward. And we do that so well in the running community, fitness community in general. We just want to see that in greater, side of society. You know.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, you hit it on the head. The sense of community, sense of inclusion, making sure that people feel welcome, and that's definitely something we strive to always talk about. Make sure that our platform always stands for inclusion, and making sure that we are building community. And we've talked to different folks that haven't always felt included by the running community, and I think that's definitely going to be one of the challenges moving forward. And I know that you're accepting a position with RRCA, and there's going to be a lot of conversations going forward on how we can include more people, how as a general group we can make sure that everybody feels safe within the running community. And I think yeah, there's there's so much that goes into my mind about this whole thing, about how social media can be twisted and bent and utilized to foster hate, and that's disturbing. That these platforms have allowed that for so much time. And I continue to think about, okay, as RaceMob as a platform, right? We allow for communication between members. We allow for a lot of different voices to be put on the platform. And as we think about the platform going forward and into the future, how do we make sure that we are always fostering the values that we believe in, that we are always making sure that people are, part of this community, are including each other, are giving each other props and daps on the back, and and helping each other along the way. And so yeah, it was definitely a dark week for us as a nation in general. But I actually think that there's a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, in that,
I
okay,
agree.
now people have to stand up and people have to realize that, dangerous rhetoric online, dangerous rhetoric in these social communities isn't just rhetoric. It isn't just like, people in their dark corners. It actually has consequences. There is actually, there can actually be very, very dangerous consequences for letting these things live on and the misinformation live on. So, not to get too far down the rabbit hole because
Yeah,
we
but
can
that's
talk for hours, but it's
yeah.
definitely something weighing on my mind, and I know it's definitely probably weighing on your mind as well. So, I want to get that out there. Yeah. And I think the good thing is we've had a couple of discussions with the race mob community, a happy hour, and everything, and it got to take our minds off of what was happening on the news. That was on our mind, but when we get to meet with people, when we get to help them in their journey, when we get to answer questions that they might have had or might have bottled up and not had somebody to go to or somebody to ask. I mean, I think that was a really, really rewarding part of last week. And so we had a number of these discussions with our January challenge. We had the happy hour where we just got to hang out with people from all over the country, with different journeys in and of themselves, people with just incredible and amazing stories. And so, yeah, fantastic
Yeah.
week.
Yeah, I
Other
mean
than what's on
that
the
yeah.
news,
Yeah,
fantastic
that
week, right?
yeah, you're right, you're right. And focus on that. But also, it's like as we're doing is acknowledging, what is going on and what's weighing on us. But yes, those stories, Casey, I mean, Scott in New Jersey, his story, Yvonne, her story as well, that we may hear about in future episodes in greater detail. And just a sense, again, of community and the diversity of our community, and the ability to have conversation and we all have something in common. We all enjoy getting outside and running. Some of those people are doing it in 17-degree weather.
Yeah, Jennifer.
Um, yes,
We're in Pennsylvania. Yeah, that's
yes,
right.
yes. So,
That's right.
and that's just it's very refreshing, and you can see the sense of fellowship and support and rooting on. And that we may be at all different paces, different stages in our running journey. Some of us have been doing it for a while. Some of us are getting back into it. Some of us are getting into it for the first time, and everyone's voice is appreciated and their story is appreciated. It's not about how fast you are. It's just your desire to want to share and acknowledge fellow runners who are doing the same thing, and us all working together towards a common goal of just being, we say it a lot, being happier, healthier versions of ourselves. It's just good, and we need more of that, more good sense of community, and just be able to hang out. That was a great thing about the happy hour, and with the Q&A sessions we had during the week as well, is just sharing and listening. And as people had questions, a lot of cases we didn't have to answer the questions because fellow team members were able to share their own experience. So that was just very cool and rewarding, and I can't wait for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of this week with our Q&A sessions, and then culminating with the happy hour on Friday.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to give a special shout out to a couple members. Those who have been in Final Surge have been getting after it this week, making sure that they're on top of their training plan. So for Rose, Jennifer, Jason, Victoria, Perul, Nikita, Brendan, Yvonne, Scott, Susan, Annie, Nikki, and special shout out to Winnie, Ryan, Raj, VP and Arena for hanging out with us on Friday as well. People both in the challenge and people outside the challenge just coming out and hanging out with us for happy hour. So want to invite everybody and anybody, if you want to come meet up with us for happy hour, we're doing it at 4 o'clock on Fridays all month long, 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I'll have the link down in the description below. Mark it on your calendar, bookmark it. Just come hang out with us. We're just chilling, getting to meet the rest of the running community and understanding everybody's goals, journeys, and just hearing some incredible stories along the way. So if you haven't yet signed into your Final Surge account to access your training plans, just send us an email. We'll make sure that you guys have access to those training plans and have the instructions to get into the training plans and get set up with everything. So again, we're doing this January challenge this entire month. We're just making sure that people have structured workouts throughout the month, and so come join us and come and tell us your story. We want to help you along this year. want to give people a quick update on where I am in the weight loss challenge. So I told people that I was going to lose 7 pounds by the end of the month. I am currently on track, so that's good. I'll
Awesome.
have
Good
some
job, man.
updates in a later video. About 1.7 pounds down. I think maybe around 2 pounds down, but that is scale weight. So have to recalculate, take a look at a couple of different things. I did had a little bit of soreness in my Achilles after the speed workout on Wednesday, so had to pull back on some of the workouts throughout the weekend, but have been keeping the diet fairly consistent throughout the week. Even with some Uber Eats there and some Grubhub, you can still work some of that stuff into the diet. So I'll have an update in a separate video here. So I'm going to put birthdays up here on the screen, and we've got new members up here on the screen. We've got quite a few new members because I guess we're going into the new year. So again, if you're a new member just joining RaceMob, we want to make sure that you have access to all of our YouTube videos. We want to make sure you have access to our training plans and access to Coach for a free consultation. And we just want to get you guys set up for the new year. So come let us know how we can help you and what your goals are for this. And then we also have question of the day. Question of the day comes from you, Coach, because you're thinking about live racing, live events as we get into 2021. And so the question of the day to our audience is, would you participate in a live event if you had the opportunity to do so? Coach, I know that you're thinking about going down to Atlanta if they do hold a live event and participating in a half marathon with your sisters. Any more color on that? I know your sisters are training hard for it.
Yeah,
So
my sister and yeah, my brother Bernardo, they're putting in the work, which is great to see. We talked about it. They calendared what their goals were, put a training plan in front of them, and I think some of that a little bit of sibling competition as well. It's always nice when you know somebody in your circle of love and trust that is, being active and motivates you to do the same as well. And the event in Atlanta, it's the Atlanta marathon slash half marathon. I think they have a 5K. It's the weekend of the 27th and 28th of February. Participated in the marathon last year. My brother ran the half marathon last year. They have moved it from the downtown Atlanta to the Atlanta Speedway, a more controlled environment. I think the field size is going to be reduced. I think possibly staggered start, a bit of a loop course. They're looking to maximize this pandemic protocols to ensure runner safety, and we'll just kind of see how that looks. I was in contact with one of our wonderful podcast guests and Coach Tess, and she shared that she'll be out there volunteering, and the course hasn't been officially published, but feels that those officials of the Atlanta Track Club will be able to do everything in their power to ensure it's the safest event possible. And we'll see. I have my airfare booked. I have not officially registered for the event, but as you, our Race Mob audience, consider live racing, it is happening in parts of the United States. I mean, we were in contact 2 weeks ago with one of the
Spartan.
national
Yeah.
Spartan marketing directors, and they have active live racing in different parts of the United States. And it's something, you have to be comfortable with it. You have to do your due diligence to see if those race organizers are absolutely adhering to the safety protocols of the local, state, and city ordinance. And if not, then you have a choice to make. If we feel that it's something that is, we don't feel that it can be safely arranged, then you just don't participate. I was very fortunate in September of last year to travel to Spokane, Washington, and the folks with Negative Split, they did a great job with pandemic managed racing events with staggered starts, touchless race packet distribution and all other good stuff. And it can be done relatively safely, but again, to each their own.
Good call. Good call. Yeah. And I know, right now we're probably at the worst point of
Yep.
the pandemic. With the social gatherings that had happened in Christmas and even over New Year's and all of that. I know that the cases are really rising right now, but there is hope. Vaccine starting to be rolled out more. The Biden administration taking office and hopefully putting together an actual plan. And so we'll see, by the end of February, maybe things will be a little bit different than they are, this week. And maybe we're seeing more hope into March, into April, into the new year. So fingers crossed that things will get a little bit better. Obviously, if people did their part and practice safe social distancing, we could make our way out of this pandemic sooner. And so, we're just hoping to be safe, be smart about it, and just be intelligent about this whole thing. And, I think there's absolutely a want to get out there to be with our fellow racers on race day and be able to, be on actual courses. So my hope is things get better. And again, we ask you guys, are you planning on doing it? If you had the opportunity to do it, would you go out and do it? And let us know. And, hopefully, Coach, if you do go out there, we'll get some videos. You can live the experience for a lot of us who wouldn't be able to make it out there and broadcast it back to our audience. So, very hopeful that things go off without a hitch and that you can go meet up with your family and go run those races. So,
And if anything, it gives us, if we need to pivot and push the dates back later, maybe a different location, we'll consider that as well. I mean, um, safety is priority number one. Also, you have to be ready for that distance. So regardless, you got to put in the work,
that's
and
right.
that's that's what the crew is doing, and they're
That's awesome.
enjoying the race mob content. And for our, as we mentioned, for our race mob audience, we are here for you to help you navigate the day in and day out challenges of just trying to stay active. We understand that it's not easy. But again, if you take that first step, it just builds very good momentum. Share a picture of your run. Share the stats if you like, all that good stuff. We want to celebrate those accomplishments. Small victories lead to big gains. So just take that first step.
Absolutely. And with that, we should chat about some of the virtual events that are happening. So if you can't make it to a live race, we've got Taji 100, one of the largest medals that we've seen. An event all throughout the month of February where you run 100 miles throughout that month. Or I think there are different goals. I mean, I know some people go like way on the extreme and 300 miles in that first week or something. And there are people that are getting to their first 40 miles, 50 miles, but it's putting that goal in front of them and getting out there and, doing something for others too, to raise awareness for RWB and the incredible organization that they are, the incredible service that they give to returning veterans. And so Taji 100, go out and do it. We have the Sasquatch road trip with Matt Forsman, our recent podcast guest from this last Thursday, a community builder, a coach, a race director, an institution in the Bay Area here for over 15 years. And he's got just a crazy storytelling road trip throughout these next 3 months. I'm helping him out with some of the back end, some of the technical stuff to make sure that experience is fantastic and awesome for all of you guys. And we've also got a Run Local virtual challenge as well, the 408K. So instead of the 408K, which is that 8K from downtown San Jose to Santana Row, this is 408K. So I think that comes out to, what does that come out to? 200 and something miles, 300 miles, something like
Yeah.
that, 300 something miles. So 320, I forget.
It's over,
It
just
comes
over
out to a
100.
lot of miles. It comes out to a lot of miles. But it's a fantastic virtual event here in that you can run from anywhere. But really, kind of boosting this San Jose area, this 408 area code area. So fantastic job with that as well. Anything else? Yeah.
Yeah. Lots of virtual options out there. Granted, we were talking earlier about live racing, but there are a ton of virtual options. And sometimes the best way to hold yourself accountable is to come out of pocket, spend a little bit of money on a virtual race or some race in general. And it, again, something that you're actually working towards. You have a date, you have a distance, it's on the calendar. And that's another way to kind of help hold yourself accountable and working backwards with the training. So
Yeah.
sign up for something if you haven't. You know, spend a couple of bucks. Or there are a lot of challenges where it's the challenge itself, where there's no monetary component. It's just commitment, and you're going to go out and knock out the distance. So sign up for something in an effort to help hold yourself accountable.
All right. And with that, just want to say thank you guys for joining us again, and we will catch you guys again next week. All right. Thanks, guys.